Hey guys, what is up? I am Rosie and I am back again with more tales of Hollywood Babylon. That's right, I'm still reading the book Hollywood Babylon Strikes Again, volume number 2. And in the first video, I said that I might get volume 1. Well, I found a lightly used version of the book. And so I can't wait to get done with this book. Then I have another book I have to read before that one. So you might be getting another celebrity book review as well. But in this book, I wanted to get into a story that I read about James Dean. Allegedly, in this book, it says that he was raped by a group of gay men. Now, in Hollywood Babylon, it alleges that most, if not all, of Hollywood, of classic Hollywood, were either gay or bisexual. And they say that James Dean was bisexual, and that is common knowledge. Everybody by now says that he was allegedly bisexual. And this man named Freddie was a friend of Mila Nurmi. Now, I think that Mila Nurmi was driven around by Freddie. He was like her chauffeur. Well, not an official chauffeur, but he just drove her around and did things for her because he just liked being in her presence. Now, I know I'm saying Mila Nurmi. Mila Nurmi was actually Vampira, and Vampira was the 1950s version of Elvira. That's right. Elvira, it is said on another video that I watched recently, Elvira was actually supposed to be the return of Vampira, but they wanted her amped up, more sexy, I guess. So they came up with someone with the, wearing the black wig and the sexy dress, and Elvira was kind of like Vampira times 10. So I grew up watching Elvira, actually. But Vampira and James Dean were really good friends. They would hang out together. They would go to a shop, like a deli or a cafe, and just hang out. And she was pretty much in love with him. She said that she loved him very much. And they did this photo shoot for publicity. They went to a mortuary, funeral home, and James Dean laid down in a coffin, and he was supposed to look, I guess, dead or passed out or asleep or whatever. And Vampira stood over the casket that he was in, and they just did it for publicity. Well, what she didn't know was that Freddie actually drugged James Dean. He thought that James Dean, he said that he felt that James Dean needed to be more relaxed, so he gave him a drink or two or something like that. And he slipped something in the drink. Vampira had to leave and go somewhere, or Mila Nurmi, she had to leave and go somewhere, and James Dean was left lying passed out on a slab. Freddie called in his friends. I think they were hiding or already there or something. And it doesn't say it in so many terms, but basically Freddie confessed to Mila Nurmi what they did to him. James Dean didn't return Freddie's feelings for him. Freddie just lusted over James and wanted him bad. And since James Dean wouldn't give of himself freely, Freddie decided to take it, and he and his friends did that. And a few weeks later, the unfortunate accident of James Dean, Whenever you hear a pause like that, it's because my computer went off, and so I have to like touch my mouse pad to get it back on. But anyway, James Dean's accident happened. He crashed his car and died on the highway. And so it is not said whether or not he knew what happened to him, but allegedly it did happen. And I will put my sources or my source in the description so you can see it and get the book for yourself if you don't believe me. Now, I don't know if what they say in this book is true or not, but regardless of whether or not it is still a very interesting read. Like, for instance, maybe I've been living under a rock or something, but I did not know that Jimi Hendrix has a sex tape out. Supposedly, there is a sex tape of him pleasuring two women, and they say that in the tape he shows how much he is a prowess, how much of a prowess he is in bed as well as on the guitar. And he shows that he really does want to bring pleasure to his lady friends. Now, his girlfriend, the woman who was his girlfriend at the time, says that it was not him, and somebody else says that it wasn't him. You know, his family, they all say that it wasn't him, and that Vivid just wanted to exploit his name and his image. But the plaster caster and somebody else, I forgot who it was, they say that it was him. So it goes on both sides. It's not 100% known if it was him, but people say that it was. So I don't know. I don't plan on getting the tape. I don't desire to see him in that way. I desire to just keep admiring his his classic and astonishing guitar work. He's a legend, and that's what I want to know him for, not for how he was in bed. So, this book, I mean, if you don't have it, you should get it, because the things that I'm telling you that are in this book isn't even half of what you would read it, and it's not even the most enjoyable or the most interesting facts that you might find. There are things in here about Charlton Heston. There are things in here about, I think I said before, Betty Page, and I mean, just so many classic Hollywood stars that you would just not guess that they were that way. Desi Arnaz liked to have his sucked, and he said that Lucy couldn't do it right. So, yeah, I mean, just things about, you watch these classic television shows and commercials on YouTube and, you know, classic movies, and they all seem so suave and debonair and smooth and romantic. And then you read this book, and they were just like a bunch of pervs, because that's basically what this book is about. I thought it would be more like classic Hollywood gossip, but this is like mostly sexual gossip and about, you know, they're not saying it this way, but most of Hollywood back then at least was LGBT. They're just not saying it that way. People like I said, Desi Arnaz, Charlton Heston, um, people that would just deny it. Katharine Hepburn, Audrey Hepburn, just so many stars um, were part of that community, and you wouldn't think it. And I have to say, allegedly. Like I said before, I don't know if these stories are true, but they're saying that it is. So I can't wait to get to the end of the book. I'm way more than halfway through, but I'm not done yet. There are still a lot more pages to explore, and I'm really anxious to see what else is in there. So I might do another one of these videos. I'm pretty sure I will. And like I said, there may be another celebrity book review. I recently got Bobby Rock's new book, and for those of you who don't know who Bobby Rock is, he is a classic, legendary glam metal drummer, and you are sure to have seen him in the 90s with the likes of Nelson, and in the 80s with Vinnie Vincent Invasion. He has played shows with Slaughter, and he right now is on the road with Lita Ford, and he has written a book, and I cannot wait to dive into it. But with that all said, you guys, I'm going to go, and hope to see you on the next upload. Thank you so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and share if you care to. Love you very, very much. Bye for now.